Okay, Lord Mayor, friends, welcome everybody. So great to see you all here today, and it's really important that we take the opportunity to recognise the efforts that have been made and the sacrifices that have been made by Jewish people since the Second World War, and today marks the 80th anniversary of the Association of Jewish Refugees, and it's their initiative to plant 80 trees across the UK, which will be a living memorial to all of those who have suffered or given their lives during that period. I'm very, very pleased that Swansea is one of those cities that's been chosen to be a recognition, and it's great to see not just Norma Glass here from representative of the Jewish community, but also from friends from Interfaith and also from City of Sanctuary. And it's a really important year for us as well, because on December the 10th this year we will become the first city in Wales and only the second city in the UK to move towards human rights status, and I think that's really important for everybody who lives in this wonderful city that we call home, that we're able to do that. And it's not the end of the story. Again, we'll say more about this on the 10th, but it's the start of a journey that we will take over the next year or so. So I'm very pleased to do this. I thank you all for attending, and I couldn't be prouder that we're one of the first to do this, so thank you. And I'll hand over now, I think, to Norma.
Grateful thanks to the Council and all those who've arranged this amazing, momentous, unique occasion. I speak on behalf of my Jewish community in Swansea, and we really are so grateful and very honoured to have this event organised. Whenever Jewish people have something that is unique, or there's something new that they meet or taste or see, they say a special blessing. So I'm going to say that blessing in Hebrew this morning. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu v'kimonu v'higianu lazman hazeh. It is quite amazing that I think it would be nice now, as it's a refugee, if you from Friendship House would speak and I will respond to you, because we're thanks to you that you continue the work.
We're very pleased that we've been asked to come today, representing Swansea City of Sanctuary, and as I understand it, we're commemorating among other things, the contribution that so many Jewish refugees have made to British life, and obviously to Swansea life in this case. Norma's a great example over all those years. And I just wanted to point to the continuity in a way. As I understand it as well, when Jewish refugees started to come in the 1930s, they weren't always all that welcome. People thought they might take their jobs. I even read that doctors weren't always welcome, that British doctors thought they would compete with them. And that obviously changed when the horrors of the Holocaust became known, and we've got the Refugee Convention now. So one would hope that refugees today, even though they're not coming from such a horrific situation, they might be treated better, but we still have a hostile environment, and fortunately we still live in a city where, you know, thanks to ordinary people who get elected as councillors and some of the organisations, there is a welcome in Swansea still. We're very proud to say we are, as one of our slogans is, proud to be a place of safety. And of course we ought to also to remember, because of it, as it happens, last week we had all these deaths in the Channel, and that's, I think, adds up to 160 odd deaths in the Channel since 2015. And so, as I say, it's not such a horrific situation as the Holocaust, but people are still persecuted and they still need refuge, and we are still proud to say in our city that refugees are part of us.
Well, I'm not a refugee and I'm not a Holocaust survivor. I am somebody who's fortunate that my ancestors suffered perilous journeys to come from hell to the haven of the UK. And so I think most Jewish people are very aware of what's going on now in the Channel, that this is not a new thing, it's always happened where people have taken risks to save their children and their futures. Now, I am fortunate because I grew up during the Holocaust and I had a reasonably contented, easy life here in Swansea. Swansea's my home and I love it, and I hope that I'm going to end up here as well, even if it's in a box. But what I wanted to say was that my cousins, my contemporaries, and many of my family and families of all Jewish people, while we were living reasonable lives, they were having hell. Now, if my cousins of my age would have been wearing the yellow star, I was fortunate that I had the ability to enjoy a blue star. Blue is a special colour mentioned in the Bible. And what I've done is I put memorial lights. The David star is a 6-pointed star. So I put memorial lights on the 6 points to remind us each one is 1,000,000. And the 6 reminds us of the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust. But we must never forget as Jewish people that we were not alone in this hell. Yes. The central memorial candle reminds us that we were accompanied to death with the Romani gypsies, the political prisoners, the homosexuals, the mentally and physically disabled, anybody who didn't measure up to Hitler's Aryan standards. So that is very important, and that's why it's unity. And that is why when refugees came into Swansea, they were looked after not just by Jewish people, but by Swansea people. And there, I know that I grew up with 2 refugees, and they enriched my life. And I hope that a lot of people can say, whether they were any faith, that the refugees enriched their lives because they brought something into their lives which normally would never have occurred. I've also brought along a Chanukiah because Jewish people are celebrating the festival of Hanukkah, and it is a reminder of resilience and survival, the miracle of the survival of Jewish people. And every night we light a light, one the first night and so on until we get the 8 lights. I brought this Chanukiah because it's made of wood, and as we're planting a tree, I think it's appropriate. But what I wanted to say was, we celebrate survival, but this year, in 2021, I think we should think back 40 years each time we light a candle to 19. Don't you agree? The yes. 80 years. Yes. So there's 8 candles, and each candle is a decade. And please God, this year, let us stand together and remember the past, yes, the hell, the horror, but stand in the present, hoping that the future is going to be one that there won't be refugees, they will be citizens of this wonderful city of sanctuary, Swansea.
Thank you, Leader, Councillor Gibbard and Riaz, for all the organisation that's gone in today. It's a pleasure to be here and obviously among friends. But as I said, we are friends, but it's been a very difficult journey for some people, as Norma has just said. And of course, it's wonderful, there's 80 years and we're doing 80 trees. And the oak tree is a really good symbol because, as we all know, oak trees, if it's looked after well and loved and nourished, will last for a lot longer than 80 years. So I think it's very fitting that an oak tree has been planted today. And of course the council as a whole, the city, is part of the Queen's Green Canopy, so we've been planting a lot of trees with schools and getting them to understand, because at the moment obviously it is all about climate change. So it's a very fitting symbol that again you picked a tree, and it was wonderful to hear your stories and for people to understand, because we don't really understand. We are a city of sanctuary, and last night Councillor Gibbard and myself and Riaz were in an event with the Romanians, and they have come to live in Swansea and have settled in and are very, very happy, and they say what a happy and welcoming place we are, and I hope through us that you can carry on feeling safe and happy. And yes, I hope on the 10th that we do become the human rights city, and I think it's congratulations to everybody concerned.
I just wanted to say, Jewish people, the congregation here, we were the oldest, largest community in Wales. Our records go back to the early 1700s, and we've got a testimony of our existence in 2 cemeteries. We lived and a lot of us died here. But this tree is a testament to the present community. And if ever we visit a memorial, we always place a stone. It's a mark of our visit. Bless us in our tree planting and find favour in our prayer for establishing peace, goodness and blessing as we plant this special tree. This campaign was donated by the Swansea community many years ago and is in this glass cabinet in the Mayor's Parlour in Swansea, Guildhall. And we're very honoured that on the last night of Hanukkah, the Guildhall will be lit up in blue.